Wonderful explanation, Swamiji. The address is really very beautiful. That Amritasya Putra, which is a really unique address. And moreover, whatever you have said, the synchronization of all the minds, that is really very, very interesting. I hope my viewers, rather our viewers, they are also enjoying your explanation. Namaste. On behalf of International Vedanta Society, I, Juhu Chakraborty, a member of International Vedanta Society and a disciple of our beloved Sri Bhagavan, welcome all my viewers to this spiritual discussion. Today we are very happy to have Swami Probuddhananda Puri Maharaj here amidst us. Swamiji is an eminent scholar and also an author. He has delivered lectures in many universities. A few of them I can remember, that is University of Holland, University of Spain, then Boston University, then New York University, and many more. He has introduced Srimad Bhagavad Gita, classes on Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta in many colleges in India. So now it's my privilege to welcome Swami Probuddhananda Maharaj here. Swamiji, I welcome you to this session.
Thank you.
Swamiji, I actually want to ask you one question, and it is that I have come across many people and they have an opinion, and it is that they are saying that our Sanatan Dharma is not based on equality. That is, inequality prevails in our Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. So, will you please say something in this regard? And I do believe that your analysis will surely help us to have a clear notion about it.
Thank you. Thank you, Juji. Namaste, viewers. It's my pleasure and a privilege to talk to you. So, if we consider Sanatan Dharma, which is based on primarily three texts, like the Vedas, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra. So these three texts joined together is called Prasthantraya. So Sanatan Dharma actually is based on these three spiritual texts. So it says that mostly these three texts speak about the same truth, the same eternal truth, which is beyond mind, which is beyond speech, which is beyond any kind of perception or knowledge. So, but it says that whenever there is a difference of opinion in these three texts, the opinion which has been, or the conclusion which has been inserted, which has been given in the Vedas, that is Shruti, is the authority. So that should be considered to be the authority among all these three texts. So while we talk about equality, or in Sanatana Dharma, the word used is samatva, that is, equality or sameness. So Sanatana Dharma started after human beings have reached that state of sameness or equality, or we can say, one step ahead. It's not only equality, it is oneness. So Sanatana Dharma is based on oneness, because Sanatana Dharma talks about that one existence, that one, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent existence, which is the universal consciousness. So, Sanatan Dharma, Sanatan Dharma says that universal consciousness is the nature of all beings and non-beings. That universal consciousness is projecting itself or manifesting itself in the form of a living being or non-living being. So it starts with like this. The first Upanishad first Upanishad, which is known as Ishopanishad, it says that, and the first mantra of that Upanishad, it says, Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatam jagat. It says that whatever you see in this world, be it human being, be it plants, animals, or these insentient objects, they, within each and every sentient and insentient being, the Lord or the self or consciousness is present. So he is the one who is living within each and every sentient and insentient being. So, the real nature or the real existence is that consciousness. And that consciousness, as we have said before, it is manifested in different way, in different names, in different forms. So, then it gives an example. Like, if there is a fire in a house, then the fire is going to burn each and every object present in the house. So suppose there is a house full of furniture. So the fire is burning all the furnitures. The fire is burning the chair, it's burning the table, it's burning the it's burning the bench, everything.
Whatever is there in the house,
Huh?
whatever is there in the room,
Whatever is there in the room, the fire is going to burn. So when the fire is burning the chair, the fire is taking the shape of the chair. When it is burning the table, it's taking the shape of the table. When it's burning the bed, it's taking the shape of the bed. But though that the fire is taking different shapes, but it is fire. It's one. So it says that Agnir yatha bhuvanam pratishtha rupam pratirupam bahuba ekas tata sarvabhut antaratma rupam pratirupam bahisha. Here with example it says that, like when a fire enters into a house, it is burning each and every object of the house, but while it is burning the objects may be different, but the fire is one. In the same way, ekam tatha sarvabhut antaratma, in every beings there is one, one self. There's one self, one entity, one existence, which projects itself in a different name and a different form. So, that is why I said that when human beings have attained the state of oneness or equanimity or equality, then only this Sanatan Dharma came into existence. Like, there's a clarion call of the rishis. The rishis are explaining, or the rishis are declaring that they have attained the state of they have attained that knowledge by which one can transcend death. So here these words are very important to be noticed. What it says that Srindantu Vishe Amridasya Putra, the one word with which the sages are referring to each and every person of this world is, you are the son of the immortal. It is not talking about any particular class. It is not talking about a particular religion. It's not talking about a particular, it's not talking about a particular class. It's not talking about a particular religion. It's not talking about a particular, caste or sect. It is talking about the humanity as a whole. The whole humanity is it's talking about the humanity as a whole. The whole humanity, is the son of the immortal. Then it says, Aye dhamani divyani tastu. He says the people who believe that they belong to higher caste, they belong to they belong to higher existence. They are they live in a better way of life. For them also, it's not only for you and me or any person of this world. It is also true for each and every person who believes or who considers themselves to be higher than us or normal human being. For them also, that I have known the truth. I have known the truth. Vedaham etam purusha mahantam. I have known that self, that supreme self, Aditya Varna Tamaso Parastam. He is like a fire, he is like his light, and he is so much light that there cannot exist any darkness. Tameva Viditvati Mrityumeti. And only by knowing him you can go beyond death. So if you may consider to be yourself to be superior, you may consider yourself to be higher than any other human being, but you cannot go beyond death. To go beyond death, this is the way. This is the only way by which you can go beyond death. So Vedaham etam purusha mahantam aditya varna tamaso parastat tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanyapantha vidyate ayana. That there is no other path or there is no other way. So this is the this is the this is the philosophical part of the Vedas. It talks each and every human being to be the same. Sarvam khalu idam brahma. That each and every thing of this world is but the self. Then ekameva dvitiyam neha nanasti kinchana. There's only one. There's no two. So there is only one means the existence or the reality is one. We may see many different, we may see diversity, but there is no diversity. There's only one. So which that one is seen as different names and different forms. But a person who is following the Sanatan Dharma, he considers the reality to be one. So ekameva va advitiyam. It is one. It is how much it is one or how it is one. It is bereft of any two. There is no two. Neha nanasti kinchana. And there is no diversity. There is no division. There's no, there's no many. There's only one. There's no diversity. So this is the philosophical part. Now coming to the practical way, how the Vedas or how the Vedas, they define the society. How do they express the message of oneness within the society? So here it says, there's a very famous mantra, that is Sangachadvam Sangvadabhyam Sango Manasi Janata Deva Bhaga Yatha Purve Sajjanana Upasate. Now, what is the meaning of this? It says Sangachadvam. You all should, walk together. That is, if this life is a journey, so this journey should be accomplished together. That is, you should not make groups. You should not make, classes. You should not make your own, room. You should not make your own, comfort zone. You should all walk together. That is, when we have this life, we should share, we should walk together through this life, through this journey of life. Sangachadvam. Then, Sangbadabhyam. That is, you should all talk in the same tune. Now, how can we talk in this? It's not possible that each and every person of this world, they speak the same language. They speak the same, they always talk about the same thing or the same object or the same subject. Is not possible. Now, what is the meaning of Sangvadabhyam? Sangvadabhyam means you should, or whatever you speak, and in whichever language you speak, the tune or the theme of that the theme of that subject should be oneness, love. The theme of the subject should not be diversity. It should not create any difference. It should be oneness. It should be love. And that is why it says, Sangbadabhyam. Sango manasi janata. And your mind should always also be one. Like we are all governed by our mind. All the karmas that we do, all the actions that we do, it's because of the mind. The mind thinks this, and then we do it. So the mind is the very important. It plays a very vital role in our existence. So it says that these minds should also be the same. That is, it's not possible that all mind can function in the same way. It's not that each and every mind can vibrate in a different vibration, different pitch, but they should have synchronicity. Like in an orchestra, we see there are different instruments. They all are played in different pitch, in different sound, but they have got a oneness, a synchronicity. There's a synchronicity, and when you listen to that, you feel happy, you feel peace. So in the same way, we can have different mindset, we can have different subjects in our mind, but each and every mind should vibrate in synchronicity. My mind should vibrate for you, your mind should vibrate for me, and my mind should vibrate for each and every person of this world, and each and every person of the world, person of the world's mind should also vibrate for me. This is how they have thought about, or they have taught about how a society can be. Sangachadvam, Sangvadabhyam, Sango Manasi Janata. Now, then they're giving an example how it can happen. This is a theory that I'm giving, that each and every one should walk in the same way, together. We should talk, in the same theme. We should our mind should all have synchronicity. Now, how it is possible? They're giving an example. Like we have this fire ceremony, which we call yagya. That is, we offer like medicines, offerings to the gods. In Sanatan Dharma, there is there is not many gods, but there is a freedom for each and every person to choose their own god, and that is why there is thousands and thousands of gods. But there is no thousands god. There's only one God. But because my perception of God might be different from your perception of God, that is why Sanatan Dharma gives me and you, freedom to choose our own gods. So in this way, there are many gods, and that is why when we perform any fire sacrifice, we give offerings to many gods. So here it says that Deva Bhaga Yatha Purve Sajjanana Upasate. Now, when many sages, they are giving offering to many gods, how are the gods, accepting those? Because, everything is not coming to me. It belongs to everybody. So what they do is they distribute it among themselves in equal portion. They share everything in equal portion, and that is how they accept those offerings. And here it says that we should also share our resources. We should also share our happiness. We should also share our strength, our power, our prosperity, even our sorrows in equal proportion, so that this world becomes a better place to live. So this is what Sanatan Dharma says. And the thing that is very, very important, and which should not be forgotten, is this, that it is Sanatan Dharma which actually is based on total globalization. We think, or we perceive this world to be our family, one family. We talk about global village today. We talk about one law, one humanity. So this is already there in the Sanatan Dharma. In the Sanatan Dharma, I am Bandhur, I am Neti, Ganana Laguchetasam Udara Charitanam tu Vasudeva Kutumbakam. A person who always considers him to be his own and him to be his enemy, who differentiates, who differentiates, that person has a very is a narrow-minded person. But a person having a huge heart, a person who is a superior character, a person having a superior character, for him the whole world is his own family. So this has also come from Sanatan Dharma. So that is why I think that each and every person should be very clear about this, that though we don't talk about social justice, or that is not so popular, still we don't need to talk it, because if a person follows Sanatan Dharma, practices Sanatan Dharma, it's not a dogma, it's not a ritual, it is a way of life, it's a science. When a person practices the Sanatan Dharma as a science, then these equality and everything, they come, they are very natural, they just come. They don't need to practice it in a different way. It's a part and parcel of Sanatan Dharma. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful explanation. Wonderful explanation, Swamiji. The address is really very beautiful. That Amritasya Putra. It's a really unique address. And moreover, whatever you have said, the synchronization of all the minds, that is really very, very interesting. I hope my viewers, rather our viewers, they are also enjoying your explanation. Really, it's nice.
Thank
Now,
you.
Swamiji, I want to ask you one more thing, that our sacred book, the Gita, whether it stands for equality. Do you believe that equality prevails in Gita also?
Yeah, actually, the two very distinct, teachings or message that the Bhagavad Gita gives us is, one is this oneness or sameness or equality, and the other is renunciation from the results of your actions. And these are the two things. One is nishkam karma, that is selfless action, and the other is this samatva. And almost in each and every chapter, apart from the first chapter, which is Arjun Vishad Yog, where Arjuna was talking about his own mental agony. So if you just leave that part apart, then the other 17 chapters, one thing is very common. Two things actually. The one is the sameness, this equality, equanimity, oneness, and the other is this nishkam karma, that is selfless actions. Now, how or what does the
sorry to disturb. Selfless action means you continue to work, but don't expect any result.
Exactly.
That is?
Exactly. It doesn't tell you, what you have to work or what actions you will perform, but whatever action you perform, you should not be focused. Your actions should not be focused on the results. It should only be focused on the completion of those, action. That is why, in Bhagavad Gita or in any other spiritual text, one word which comes again and again, and it also, is considered to be a very important characteristic for a person who is aspiring for self-knowledge. Self-knowledge means going beyond the realms of Maya, that is going beyond the realms of ignorance and reaching the state of complete oneness or supreme knowledge or supreme consciousness. So here, while people talk about what are the qualities a person should have when who aspires for the self-realization, so one quality which is very common, that is called arjavam, and arjavam means nishtha, that is sincerity. So Bhagavad Gita talks about sincerity. It talks about sincerity more than focusing on what you are going to receive or then the results. It talks about whenever you are performing an action, perform that action with full utmost sincerity. Put your whole mind there. You should not,
Devotion.
yeah. In Bhagavad Gita, you will not find too much mention about, spiritual practice, meditation, or chanting, or doing any kind of spiritual practice, or this austerity. Bhagavad Gita is very practical. You have got a life and you have got karmas in front of you. You have to perform actions. Now, if you can perform each and every action, in a way which will lead you towards your supreme goal, which will give you the highest goal, which will take you to your highest goal. That is what Nishkam Karma is all about. And that is why Krishna has purposefully, talked about Nishkam Karma or selfless action again and again in Bhagavad Gita. And, with this Nishkam Karma, he had also introduced a new kind of approach in the, in spiritual world, which you can say he have revolutionized the spiritual world by saying these words. He said, Samatvam hi yoga uchyate. Yoga. Yoga means, it has three meaning. One is super conscious state. That is the state where a person can attain the state, attain self knowledge. Okay, or when he can become one with that supreme consciousness. It's called super conscious state. So that is the highest goal of a human being, to attain that state of universal consciousness. And when you attain that state of universal consciousness, you realize that you are not this individual soul, you are not this body, you are not the mind or intellect or ego. You are that, you are that self. We have this word soham, sa aham. There is I am that. Or you might remember Swami Vivekananda saying again and again, I am he, I am he, I am he. So this I am he means I am that consciousness, I am not this. So this fact or this knowledge is attained in the state of samadhi. So the first meaning of yoga is samadhi. Then yoga means integration. You have to integrate. Like we have three entities. One is the body, then is the mind, and the third one is knowledge or the self or soul or consciousness. So there is no equality between these three. There is always inequality. The body wants something, the mind wants something, and the self wants something. The body wants to convey something, the mind wants to convey something, and the self wants to convey something. The focus of the body is different, the focus of the mind is different, and the focus of the self is different. So there is always this inequality between these three. So yoga means, attaining a state where you will be completely integrated with your body, your mind, and your soul. That is also called yoga. So in the Bhagavad Gita it said that, samadha vachala buddhistada yogam abapsasi. Samadha, that is, you come to a point where everything is in a state of, equanimity, in the state of complete, complete calmness, complete, complete equivalence, complete oneness. Your body, your mind, and your soul is in a state of complete oneness. That is also called yoga. So, and the third meaning of yoga is restraint. Restraining your mind is also yoga. Restraining your senses, restraining your body, restraining your ego, your intellect is also yoga. So that is the third meaning of yoga. Now Lord Krishna added a very new kind of approach to this yoga. And what is that? He said, Samatvam hi yoga uchyate. That is, if you are situated in equality, equanimity, or oneness. That is called yoga. Now, how does he give? Give this example? He says that sukha dukha. Like this shitoshna. That is like winter and summer. Like now we have. It's not summer, but still it's hot here. So when it is hot, we feel heat. We are not comfortable, but we know that at one point this heat will go and cold weather will also come. That is
Winter will
winter
come,
is
yes.
going to come. So this heat is not going to stay forever. It's going to change, and winter should come. So this heat and cold is interchangeable. It's a passing phenomenon. This heat is going to transform itself into cold, and the cold will again transform itself into heat, like the day and night. The day gets transformed into night, and the night gets transformed into the day. So in this way, now when it is hot in India, when it is hot, we are all very, very uncomfortable. When it's cold, we are all very happy. This is true for all Indians, I suppose, except for those who lives in the mountains. But so we love winter, but we don't love summer. Lord Krishna says you have to have the same approach, because these two are the two faces of the same coin. If you have the same approach for these two, then you have attained the state of yoga. Samatvam hi yoga uchyate. Now, different emotions comes. Like we deal with different emotions. Sukha dukha same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. When we are in our life, when we are in our life, we are we are into this battle of our life. Earning, we are in the battle of earning. We are in the battle of getting established. We are getting in the battle of maintaining our health. So there is a battle always. So in this battle, he says, sukha and dukha, that is happiness and sorrow. These two are the possible outcomes. You might win the battle or you might lose the battle. When you win the battle, you will have happiness. If you lose the battle, you will have sorrow. So, when you are in a battlefield, so these two are, are possible outcomes.
Supposed to.
One is victory, and the
Happiness
other
or
is defeat. So with
sadness.
victory, sorry?
Happiness or sadness, we
Yeah.
have to accept.
Yes. So with victory, happiness will come. With defeat, sorrow will come. So he says, sukha dukha same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. So these two things, these two opposites, that is happiness and sorrow, profit and loss,
Lost.
victory and defeat. These are the two possible outcomes, and these are the two opposites, and these are the things, these are the two things with which you live. So we get attached to any one of this, and we get repelled from the others, and this is how we live our life. So Lord Krishna says that life is not about these two things, only happiness and sorrow, only profit and loss. The real happiness, the real profit, the real victory comes when you go beyond this. When you go beyond this, this apparent happiness and sorrow. When you go beyond this apparent profit and loss, or apparent victory and defeat. So when you can go beyond this, then only you will attain the real happiness, the real bliss, the real gain, the real victory. So how can I go beyond this? The only way to go beyond this is to have the same approach with these two things. Okay, then it talks about the yogi.
That is, I think, stoic, no? Who is indifferent to both sorrows and
Yes,
joys.
yes.
I
So
think so.
so it is giving an example of a yogi. Who is a yogi? Yogi means a person who is who is the cream of the society. Who is the cream of the Sanatan society, who have attained the state of oneness, who have attained self knowledge, who have attained the state of universal consciousness. He is a yogi, and the yogi is the cream of the society. Now, Lord Krishna says, who is this yogi? Or what is the characteristics of this yogi? He says, Suhrin Mitra Ari Udasin Madhastva Dvesha Bandhushu Sadhushwapi cha Papeshu Samabuddhir Vishishyate. What is a yogi? He says a yogi will have same approach, or he will consider everything to be everyone to be the same. Now, who are these people who are one? The well-wisher, the friend, enemy, person who is indifferent to him, person who is a middleman, person who is a companion, he is a co-worker, and person who is a pious man, who is a sage, and a criminal. So a yogi will have the same approach for all these people. So sameness is the basis of Sanatan Dharma. Sameness is the basis of Bhagavad Gita also. Then it talks about, who is a real, learned person. It says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Sunishchaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadashrira. He says that a person who is a real learned, who has got knowledge, a person who is a wise person, who will be considered to be a wise person? He says one who will consider a Brahmin, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, a Brahmin, a cow, and an elephant, a dog, and a person who works in the funeral ground. Is called Chandal, who is considered to be a very low caste. So he says a real wise man, a real learned man will consider a Brahmin and a very low caste to be the same. Dogs and cow and elephants to be the same. So here it talks about sameness. It talks about equality, and why we see inequality? Because we do not practice Sanatan Dharma in its true spirit. We don't know Sanatan Dharma actually. We don't know Sanatan Dharma is based on equality. It's based on equality. Then it talks about this Yadrichalava Santusto Dandatito Bimutsara Sama Siddhava Siddhocha Kritvapina Nivaddhate. Everywhere it talks about this samatva, that whatever comes to you, you should always have the same approach towards everybody. So this is how, and there are many others. This is the main thing that I've just discussed. So this is Bhagavad Gita also is based on equality.
Equality. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you.
I believe, since I am feeling very happy, so our viewers rather, they also are very happy. Your golden words have enlightened all of us, and hope to meet you soon with some other discussion.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.